Welcome. Today I will be paraphrasing, summarizing, and sharing for the July 1st Al-Anon readings, Encouraged to Change, and a little time for myself. Rabbit, rabbit, happy July. We'll begin with the Serenity Prayer and 3 mindful breaths. God, grant me the serenity to accept the things I cannot change, courage to change the things I can, and wisdom to know the difference. Take a moment to look this over. Sorry, I'm just reading it. I don't know why I said that out loud. Okay, the question is, what choices can I make today to support my own recovery? I'm only laughing because it's the 4th video I've made today, and I'm obviously getting a little confused. Oh my goodness. Okay. This person starts off by talking about something that they said at a meeting that surprised themselves. And it made them realize their role in their own happiness and unhappiness. And this person says that they really don't like epiphanies because they take away any excuses for not learning and changing. And they remind them that their serenity depends on them. It's up to them. And they say that it's also a reminder from their higher power that happiness is possible. And sometimes they just need to accept help. And that sometimes, this person just needs to accept help. Now, today's reminder. I'm learning that I have choices when it comes to my own actions and attitudes. We can make more loving choices for ourselves. The quote is from Al-Anon, Hope for Children of Alcoholics. Everyone's job is just to do the best that we can with what we have. I realize when I talk that I change my point of view all the time. I'm sorry about that. As a teacher, when my kids did that in writing, it was like one of my pet peeves, and now I do it all the time. Not in writing, but in speaking. It's tricky to do while I'm paraphrasing and summarizing. In any case, I'm sorry that I do that. I'm doing my best. What choices can I make today to support my own recovery? Well, I did something today. Someone that I really care about, someone that I really appreciate, asked me if I could help them with something, and I had to say no because it wasn't going to work out for me. Now, the important part of that is that I could have pushed myself and done it. But I'm at a place in my recovery where I realize that that's not in my best interest. So I pushed through the uncomfortableness of saying, I'm sorry, but no. And I reasoned it out with my partner, and I did it. And am I questioning myself still? A little. But overall, I know that I did the right thing. So to me, that's a way of supporting my recovery, because I can't keep stuck in the same patterns that I know don't work for me. So I have to sometimes make tricky decisions. Tricky. I say tricky. I don't know how tricky they really are. Like, immediately I knew what the right thing for me to do was. It was just following through was tricky, because first of all, like, my first question to my partner was, am I a mean person for saying no? And he, like, laughed. The things that are hard for me to do are not hard for him to do at all. And I appreciate that, but I'm glad that it's not difficult for him as it is for me, but like, this is a challenge for me. So, but I did it. I did it. And I know I always say this, but I am 100% confident that I am always doing the best that I can. And like the quote says, we do the best we can with what we have. I'm always, like, consciously, I'm always doing the best I can. Moving along to the tried and true, the book that I've had since I began working my program. All right, I'll take a moment and look this over. This is about not being hard on ourselves. It talks about not having self-destructive thoughts, allowing ourselves to feel good about ourselves. How self-confidence grows, sometimes slowly, but it does grow. We can acknowledge our positive qualities, and we can counteract negative thoughts. This person suggests listing a few things about our day that we can feel good about before we go to sleep. With practice, we can be gentle and compassionate with ourselves. We all have admirable qualities. Today's reminder: we can make an effort today to realize that we are fantastic. And the quote is from Langston Hughes, and it basically says, love is the most important thing. It's a very famous quote, but it's basically, love is the most important thing. And the other thing that helps me is when I think of something negative about myself, or something that I perceive as negative, I just remind myself that I'm doing the best I can and that nobody's perfect. And the other thing I do, which I actually got this idea because I started doing this for other people when I was getting upset with them. I would picture their parents holding them when they were babies and loving them so much. And now I picture my parents holding me as a baby, and how like I could get emotional just thinking about it. But how much they loved me, and how just all that love, and like, I don't want to squash that love. I'm grateful for that love, and I don't want to do anything to lessen that love. So, like, I don't want to be mean to myself because I'm just that little baby being held by my parents. I feel like we all are, like I just said. We all are, except, maybe we're not being held by our parents. Maybe we're being held by our higher power. I don't know. I don't know the answer, but that does help me. And if you've listened to me before, then you know that I have like ongoing like self-esteem, self-worth, whatever issues that I'm really working very diligently on making them less prominent parts of my life. And I think that's a really worthy goal to strive for. And I keep saying, I think I'm making progress, and my partner keeps saying, it's really slow. Or sometimes he even says, I don't think so. But that's only because he's the one who's helping me work through it. And it's hard work. It's very hard work. So we'll close out with the serenity prayer and 3 mindful breaths. Here we go. God, grant me the serenity to accept the things I cannot change, courage to change the things I can, and wisdom to know the difference. One more thought. I think that partially sometimes it doesn't look like I'm making progress is because I deal with the same things over and over and over again. But that's what it takes. It takes repetition to change a pattern of behavior. So I'm okay with it. I'm going to keep working on it. Thank you so much for joining me today. I look forward to seeing you again tomorrow. Sending you love. Take care.